Texas A&M students protest in defense of academic freedom following recent faculty firing.
Humans are returning to the moon soon, and NASA could send a Denton County native on the mission.
UNT's student government is suffering from a lack of senators. Here's what's being done to change that.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Jackson Garrett Spring.
And I'm Maddie Holston. Students at Texas A&M are making their voices heard after a recent controversy on campus. The university president recently resigned and a teacher was fired following an incident with a student. Opponents of those departures say it raises concerns about academic freedom. Lillian Koch has the story from College Station.
This was the scene Monday night on the academic plaza at Texas A&M University, a group raising their voices and signs in defense of academic freedom. The protest comes after a series of events this month that eventually led to the resignation of the university president, the firing of a professor, and the reassignment of other school leaders. Among those who spoke out, Dr. Leonard Bright.
Some of us have talked together and said we need to do this, and certainly given this week's the turmoil that went on this week, so it wasn't hard to convince many faculty members that we need to do this.
Bright says the university's decisions from the past week reflect a troubling pattern of political influence at Texas A&M.
A student, confronted one of our professors in her classroom who was simply doing her job. She was teaching something about, gender theories. That then ultimately led to her being dismissed by President Welsh.
Critics of Welsh and others feel Texas A&M isn't doing enough to distance itself and students from liberal teachings that include gender identity studies.
Every branch, defend academic freedom!
Graduate student Max Smith said he attended the protest to protect higher education in Texas. He and the rest of the group would like to see Welsh return and a firm commitment to academic freedom.
It's degrading to the credibility of this institution as a quality source of education and research, and as someone who desires to pursue a career in academia and higher education, it's really hard to see myself wanting to do that in this kind of environment.
Whoever is chosen to replace Mark Welsh will be the third president that Texas A&M has had in the past 4 years.
President Trump is causing headaches for Tylenol after his recent announcement at the White House, and medical experts are now responding to what he said about the drug and ties to autism. NTTV's Amber Rapassi is live with the details.
Thanks, Jackson. Is taking Tylenol during pregnancy associated with autism? Despite decades of evidence saying no, President Trump claimed it is yesterday, standing alongside HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Ivan Rodriguez has a closer look.
Don't take it. Don't take it.
President Donald Trump strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy.
The use of well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol during pregnancy, can be associated with a very increased risk of autism.
Trump announced Monday that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration will be notifying physicians that the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy, quote, can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. Tylenol maker Kenvue said earlier this month it had engaged in a scientific exchange on the issue with U.S. Department of Health and Human Services officials. In a statement, the company says acetaminophen is the safest pain reliever option for pregnant women as needed throughout their entire pregnancy.
First of all, I'm worried that some women might end up taking ibuprofen, for which we know there are real risks.
According to a U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report published in April, the incidence of autism is on the rise, which one expert says is primarily due to a broadening of the definition and push for better screening in children. About 1 in every 31 children was diagnosed with autism by age 8 in 2022, up from 1 in 36 in 2020. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Experts say they have never found a link between acetaminophen and autism, but they know the science behind the theory is yet settled. With NTTV Nightly News, I'm Amber Repassi.
Thanks, Amber. You know, Jackson, after all that rain, I was hoping it would be a little bit cooler today.
Well, that's what we call false fall. Cold in the morning, sweating by noon. Let's toss it over to our weather anchor, Gabriella Cruz, for a look at the rest of our day.
Thank you so much, Jackson. As for the current conditions, it's looking like the weather is at 93 degrees Fahrenheit with a feels like of 102. There are some isolated thunderstorms coming up from the south and a potential for severe weather later in the evening. The wind speed is going to be 12 miles per hour. Later tonight, those isolated thunderstorms are going to clear up a little bit, so we'll get some clear weather. The actual temperature is 85 degrees, but it feels like 93, so it's still kind of hot, and there is some winds from the south that will be 8 miles an hour. As for tomorrow, there will be some morning showers. However, about noon-ish, it'll start to clear up and we'll have a clear day. The actual temperature will be 83 degrees Fahrenheit with a feels like of 62. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Gabriella. We're getting close to one more small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. That's because NASA has picked 10 astronauts as finalists to go back to the moon. The space agency is aiming for a crewed mission to the moon and eventually to Mars. Artemis 2 will be a test mission NASA plans to launch no later than April of next year. The goal is to gather more information needed for deep space exploration.
That there could be a North Texas native on that mission to the moon.
That's right, Maddie. Really exciting for our area. NTTV's Zaria Hallman is live with the details.
That's right, guys. Forget about the stars because the U.S. is shooting for the moon. Again. And among the crew is a woman with local ties who could help us head back there. Rebecca Lawler is from the town of Little Elm, just east of Denton. She has experience as a lieutenant commander in the U.S. Navy and as a Navy pilot. Lawler was one of the 10 finalists chosen from a pool of more than 8,000 applicants. The majority of these astronauts have either military experience or a background in engineering. Candidates vary from military officers, scientists, and even a geologist. The elite group of 10 will be training for the next 2 years, and upon graduation, hope to be eligible for more flights to the moon and maybe Mars. I wish them well on all of their endeavors and luck against any meteors. I'm Zaria Holloman with NTTV Nightly News. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up, Jimmy Kimmel is returning to the air tonight, but the controversy is not going away just yet.
And the State Fair of Texas is almost here. See what's different at the fairgrounds this year. Stay with us.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my god, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my god.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our Mean Green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
Nearly a week off the air, Jimmy Kimmel is live, coming back in a few hours. ABC's parent company, Disney, says it paused the show to relax tensions following the late-night host's comments about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. However, Mary Bell Gonzalez reports that some ABC affiliate stations will not air the show.
Our long national late nightmare is over. because Disney announced that Jimmy Kimmel Live will return to air.
Jimmy Kimmel Live will be back on ABC tonight, but not in every market. Sinclair and Nexstar, two major local TV station owners that played a pivotal role in the show's suspension, say they will continue to preempt Kimmel locally.
I think they're on wrong footing. I think they're acting a little too high and mighty to try to dictate the situation here.
The Kimmel controversy erupted after conservatives criticized the host's monologue. He suggested Charlie Kirk's killer was affiliated with the Make America Great Again movement. Then, Federal Communications Commission Chairman Brendan Carr suggested his FCC could move to revoke ABC affiliate licenses as a way to force Disney to punish Kimmel.
I saw there was a letter from some Senate Democrats that said the FCC threatened to revoke the license of Disney and ABC if they didn't fire Jimmy Kimmel, and that did not happen in any way, shape, or form.
More than 400 artists penned their support of Kimmel in an open letter organized by the ACLU. The late-night show host suspension prompted protests and public calls to boycott Disney Plus and Hulu accounts.
It's not fair, and I really support the First Amendment right and our right to free speech.
A source familiar says Kimmel is planning to address the controversy in tonight's monologue. I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Leaders from all over the globe have gathered in New York City this week for the annual United Nations General Assembly. Earlier today, President Donald Trump addressed the group for the first time since his re-election. He aired grievances throughout his speech, stating that the UN is not efficient enough. The meeting also discussed major issues such as Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine, as well as the war in Gaza. The UN General Assembly is set to wrap up its high-level week on September 30th. Also in New York, the Secret Service says they've seized equipment capable of crashing the cellular network. Agents found more than 100,000 SIM cards and 300 servers that have the ability to cripple cell towers, inhibit emergency responses, or be used for surveillance. According to officials, the network had the capacity to anonymously send 300 million text messages per minute. Although this raised concerns, there isn't any specific information indicating that the network was a threat to this week's UN General Assembly.
While political issues are heating up at the federal level, things are not far off with politics here on campus. UNT is advocating for more involvement with the Student Government Association, and I had the chance to sit down with the leaders of the SGA to find out a way to increase participation.
The Student Government Association is the official voice of student body at the University of North Texas. Throughout the years, the SGA has led the charge with the effort of the students' administration and executive board.
To me, it means the voice of the students. It's for the way for students to express what they want and what they want to say and what they want to achieve.
To advocate for the student body. We're here for every single student, no matter what their needs are, provide resources and advocate to UNT administration what they want to see for a better life and improve on campus life as well.
They work to vocalize the concerns of the students in our university community. But in recent years, the board has struggled to fill their Senate board to the maximum capacity.
A lot of people are not interested to get involved in that stuff. And the other thing is, we had a lot of graduated people, so we have not gotten a lot of new freshmen incoming yet. We are really on a positive climb with more and more applying as the semester is starting to settle in and people understand where they want to be part of.
One of the things that the students can join is apply on OrgSync, and it's also on our Instagram as well, UNT-SGA. That's our Instagram. It's also on sga.unt.edu.
The Student Government Association is located on the 3rd floor of the Union and is welcome to all UNT students. So if you have any regards or questions, feel free to come by and ask.
If you're interested in attending, there's a Senate meeting tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. in the Union, and to stay up to date on information, just visit @UNTSGA on Instagram. Maddie, when I was visiting the SGA, I was quite excited that they work indoors.
I'm jealous. I have been so hot when I walk to class. So let's take a look at the rest of this week with our weather anchor, Gabriela Cruz. Gabriela?
My apologies, Maddie. I wish I had some better news for you, but unfortunately the weather is going to remain hot. My apologies, Maddie. I wish I had some better news for you, but unfortunately across North Texas, the weather is going to remain high. In Denton, we can see the weather is 95 degrees, with Gainesville being 96 and Dallas being 96. Across the state, it's looking like the weather is going to stay about the same, with Denton being 95, Oklahoma City being 88, and Amarillo being 83. Those would be the exceptions. For the next 7 days, it's looking like that we're going to have some high 80s and mid 90s, with the lowest being 60s. There is going to be a potential for rain at 50% tomorrow. Back to you guys at the desk. This was Gabriela Cruz with NTTV.
Thanks, Gabriella. I don't know about you, Jackson, but after those storms on Sunday, I'm ready to see some cooler temperatures.
I can't wait, especially with the state fair starting on Friday. There are some big changes coming through. Caden Ellis is here in the studio with the details. Caden.
That's right, guys. The State Fairs of Texas opens this Friday, and while we're all excited to enjoy it in slightly cooler weather, fair officials and local law enforcement have recently announced changes to improve safety and security on the fairgrounds. Starting this year, only clear bags will be allowed, with the exception of medical and baby bags. Soft-shell coolers are still allowed, but they must go through an inspection. After 5 p.m., children and teens under the age of 17 must be accompanied by an adult who is 21 or older. After illegal challenges, guns are still prohibited from entry. And beginning this year, high school students will no longer get in free, but discounted tickets are still available. That's all for me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Caden. Coming up, the reason why Gen Z's credit scores are dropping faster than any other generation.
And Hispanic Heritage Month is in full swing. See the new ways UNT is embracing this month.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line, where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes, or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
So, Jackson, do you know your credit score?
No, Maddie, actually, I don't know it. Why do you ask?
Well, it turns out Gen Z's credit scores are going down. NTTV's Melanie Garcia is live at the Money Management Center on campus with the story. Melanie?
That's right, guys. On average, the Gen Z population has a lower credit score compared to other age groups, with one of the main reasons being student loan debt. With 34% of Gen Z consumers having open student loans, Gen Z's average score dropped down 3 points to an average score of 767, making this the largest year-over-year decrease since 2020. With the Trump administration restarting the collection process for outstanding students, young consumers are struggling to make payments on time. So if you're a student struggling with student loans or a low credit score, don't be afraid to ask for help. Resources like the Money Management Program here in the Union provide resources with financial help regarding workshops and coaching. So if you don't mind me, I have a credit score that I need to check up on. Reporting with NTTV, I'm Melanie Garcia.
Thanks, Melanie. Watch out, New York and LA. Texas and Florida are coming in hot for the spots for Gen Z's college grads. A study by JLL Research shows a migration of corporate headquarters since 2020 has created almost 2 million jobs between the two states. Texas hosts a variety of industries, including tech, law, and finance. DFW, Houston, and Austin sit in JLL's top 20 talent hubs for recent graduates. This year, North Texas surpassed Seattle, taking the spot at number 9. Dallas has become a major financial hub, earning the nicknames of Y'all Street as Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, and JP Morgan increased their operations in the city. Despite comparatively lower starting salaries, the cost of living is lower in California, in Florida and Texas, so they're bigger draws for recent grads who see them as beginner markets.
Hispanic Heritage Month kicked off last week, and celebrations are taking place all across Texas, including here at UNT. NTTV's Emily Rice is here with a look inside the week and this week's Seen and Heard. Emily?
Thanks, Jackson. I had the pleasure of seeing how the University Program Council here at UNT celebrates and embraces Hispanic heritage with a carnival of their own. Take a look.
If you've ever dropped a class at UNT and expected a refund, you're not alone. But what if I told you that depending on when you drop, you might lose all your money? UNT has recently updated their refund policy, Policy 10029. The policy, officially revised on August 29, 2025, was rewritten to reflect current business practices and renamed Student Account Adjustments, Credits, and Refunds. It now aligns with federal, state, and institutional requirements. But the question is, how do students actually feel about this change?
In your opinion, do you think that the university does a good job at explaining the refund to students?
I believe so. It's very clear on the UNT thing. It's either you have a plus or minus, and the emails that you receive also explaining that if you have a refund, to put in a method of how to get that refund and such, because I got that email and it was pretty straightforward and I really liked it.
Have you ever gotten an email from the university stating the refund policy clearly?
I want to say I have gotten an email about it, but it was just really brief. It wasn't anything that was in depth, pretty much just a brief overview about what it is and where you can find it.
So excited for what festivities are to come the rest of this month. How about you guys?
Well, Emily, that seems like a lot of fun. And Jackson, another thing we're excited about is Mean Green football gearing up to take Southern Alabama.
I'm definitely looking forward to it, but another thing to look forward to is our UNT volleyball team. Let's send it over to Haley Stum for more. Haley?
Thanks, guys. It may not be the year for the Cowboys or the Rangers, but it could be for our North Texas volleyball team. I'll break it all down after the break. Stay with us.
Looking to open a free checking or savings account but don't know where to start? Check out DatQ Credit Union right here on campus. Get your Mean Green debit card instantly or apply for a DatQ Visa credit card today. Your school, your card. Plus, make deposits at their 24/7 ATM, checks or cash whenever you need it. Make sure to sign up for DatQ's online banking platform and mobile app for easy access anytime, anywhere. Visit them at www.datq.org to learn more. DatQ, the official financial institution of UNT Athletics.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounce checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
The Dallas Cowboys will try to regroup before welcoming the Green Bay Packers to town this Sunday night. It will be a not-so-sweet homecoming for defensive end Micah Parsons. He's returning to the Lone Star State for the first time since being traded last month. Defense, which is allowing less than 15 points per game on average this year. Meanwhile, the Cowboys defense has struggled without number 11. They gave up almost 400 yards of offense to the Chicago Bears in their 31-14 loss this weekend. Dallas has allowed 92 points already in 2025, the fourth most to open a season in franchise history. They look to flip the script against Green Bay with action kicking off at AT&T Stadium Sunday night at 7:20. The woes continue for pro teams in Dallas as the Texas Rangers dropped 3 straight games to the Miami Marlins in Arlington this past weekend. The Rangers lost the series in heartbreaking fashion, losing by 2 runs or fewer in each game. After that sweep at the hands of the Marlins, the team has officially fallen out of contention in the AL West and now have a very slim chance of securing the final wild card spot. The Rangers return to Globe Life the final regular season homestand tonight, taking on the Minnesota Twins starting at 7. The Rangers may have gotten swept, but the North Texas volleyball team has had the opposite result in the Texan Classic, beating 3 teams in as many days. Middle blocker Laura Donafungi led the charge for the Mean Green, earning her the Most Valuable Player award of the tournament. Her 12 total blocks and 24 kills helped extend the longest winning streak across all UNT sports since 2018. The Mean Green now look ahead to their first opponent in the American Conference this season. They'll face the Charlotte 49ers at 6 p.m. Friday, September 26th in their second home game of 2025. With volleyball Friday, football Saturday, and soccer Sunday, we've got a lot happening on campus this weekend, Maddie and Jackson.
Thanks, Haley. A local fire department is showing us how it's helping our feline friends keep their 9 lives. Yesterday, firefighters in Little Elm, a few miles east of Denton, saved cats from a burning home. They provided life-saving care before transported the cats to an animal hospital. The fire department tells us the pets are now in stable condition. We thank the fire department for keeping our furry friends safe and sound.
Well, Jackson, you are one of my furry friends.
Well, Maddie, it takes one to know one.
Thanks for watching NTTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.